Section 41. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding dong, the special chat channel, battle, has been opened, that the sound still kept ringing. It seems that some players have already received his mission. In the campaign channel, only players who have received the mission will be included. Yi Fan is naturally the commander of the army, in the channel. What is this channel for? I don't know, there are so many of them all of a sudden. You are stupid. You only got it after receiving the mission. It means it is the channel of the night demon boss. Is the boss here? Brother, I want to give you a monkey. Yi Fan shook his head speechlessly, and he made an announcement directly on the channel. Everyone should come to the west side of Yongye Forest as soon as possible after receiving the mission. If you come late, there will be no meat to eat. With Yi Fan's current strength and equipment, he would dare to break into even the Poison Church headquarters as long as the Poison Goddess doesn't play tricks, not to mention the scattered strongholds in the Evernight Forest and the Death Basin. Now Yi Fan is completely crushing him, therefore, Yi Fan is right. His advancement speed will be extremely fast and absolutely devastating. Players who come early may also pick up some high-level monsters, but if they come slowly, all he could do was grab those low-level monsters that Yi Fan was too lazy to fight. Yi Fan closed the chat page and was too lazy to talk to the players. He came to Vivian at this time, and in her doubtful eyes, he directly crushed the hero's step-breaking stone in his hand. Ding dong, your hero, Shadow Princess Vivian, successfully used 10 hero step-breaking stones and completed a boundary breakthrough. Ding dong, your hero, Shadow Princess Vivian, has learned a new skill, Shadow March. As an SSS level hero, Vivian needs 10 hero breaking stones to break through. Of course, it was a piece of cake for Yi Fan. At this time, he was checking Vivian's new skills. Shadow March, LVMAX, description, Vivian is the princess of the Shadow Realm. By changing the shape and properties of the mist, Vivian can march quickly. Effect, all units in the Shadow Mist have plus 200% movement speed, very good skill, when combined with Shadow Mist and Shadow March. The effect of 1+1 is greater than 2, while completely invisible, the movement speed is still very fast, maximizing the mobility of the troops. At this time, Yi Fan signaled Vivian to release the mist directly. Suddenly, a gray fog like a shadow enveloped all the troops. Yi Fan waved his hand. Let's go to the Evernight Forest. P.S. Let's have a small explosion today. Well, maybe. Chapter 34. The Holy War begins. Crazy players. February 5th, the Moon Night Forest covers a large area, at least no less than a medium-sized province in the Dragon Kingdom. Yi Fan's marching speed is already very fast. In Vivian's Shadow Mist, all units can enjoy double movement speed. Although the Flame Marksman has a 10-fold movement speed bonus, they are forced to slow down in order to maintain overall movement. An hour later, on the west side of the Evernight Forest, Yi Fan saw many players from a distance. Behind them are all kinds of broken troops, and most players also carry first-level troops produced by the basic barracks. Yi Fan's appearance caused a commotion. Holy shit, big Night Stalker. Hey, it's really a Night Devil. Brother Night Demon, I love you. Boss Night Demon, this zombie is too strong, I can't defeat it at all. Why is it foggy? What's the situation? Damn it, boss, what kind of army are you? Are you so handsome? Wow, these elf sisters are so beautiful. Yi Fan had a mask on his face, so he would naturally not show his face. He made Vivian clear the fog. Yi Fan said, you form your own team and divide the work between the front and back rows. The players nodded immediately. Okay, Daredevil Boss Nyo Hide. Group, team up. I have level 2 front row infantry, come with a long-range DPS, don't team me up if the troops are below 502 level. Hey, I happen to have a level 2 kobold crossbowman. Girl, do you want to form a team? Go away, kobolds stink too much. Looking at the players taking action, Yi Fan was naturally too lazy to talk to them. Yi Fan came here to let them work for him, not to be a nanny for them. At this moment, several voices sounded in Yi Fan's ears. Ding dong, your subordinates have reached tens of millions. Since you are a divinely appointed Viscount, you have obtained the wartime buff, War of Light. Ding dong, you triggered a 10,000-fold increase and obtained the wartime buff, Jihad of Light. Not only Yi Fan, but all the players were stunned. Under everyone's feet, there was a white and holy halo, bright holy war. Description: brave adventurers, you have participated in a glorious battle. To drive out evil, fight. The great God of light is with you. Effect, point 1. All units have plus 100% attack and plus 100% defense against evil forces. 2. All units are immune to all negative effects. Listening to the system's voice, the players were all excited. Hahaha, did I hear it right? Attack and defense doubled. Damn, isn't Night Demon too strong? How did he get such an outrageous buff? With this buff, my dog-headed man is invincible. Now we are not afraid of zombies. The horror of zombies lies in their infection skills. Now we are all immune. What are you still standing there for? Go for it. Everyone, work hard. This is a good opportunity to kill monsters and earn contribution points. There was no need for Yi Fan to say more. Countless players were already rushing into the Eternal Night Forest impatiently. Section 42. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Their troops, which were originally extremely rubbish, suddenly became energetic and vigorous. Zombies fell to the ground in pieces. At the same time, the system's voice sounded in Yi Fan's ears again. Ding dong, player, little toothpick, killed the unit, zombie, level 3, *100, and you got 1 contribution point. You triggered a 10,000-fold increase and got 1,000 contribution points. Ding dong, player, death record, killed the unit, poisonous cat demon, level 3, *100, you got 1 contribution point. You triggered a 10,000-fold increase, and got 1,000 contribution points. Ding dong. As the commander-in-chief of the Legion, Yi Fan can share 20% of the contribution value of his subordinates. However, zombies and poisonous cat demons are both low-level monsters. Players will only receive 5 contribution points if they kill 100 animals in total. The Church of Light is stingy to the extreme. Moreover, some of it will be taken away by Yi Fan. However, the players were still happy. Haha, the experience value has skyrocketed. Brothers, my troops will be upgraded soon. At this rate, my troops will reach level 10 in less than an hour. It's so cool. With this offensive and defensive buff, don't be too happy about killing monsters. Follow Brother Yongye, and you will indeed have meat to eat. Boss Yongye YYDS. Hahaha, I already have 2 contribution points. I heard that with 500 points, I can switch to the 3rd level unit. Ollie, come on. Who the hell is robbing me? Which of your eyes saw that it was yours? At this time, many players have posted the list of light church stores in the forum. When they faced the 3rd level paladin, their laughter flowed out. At this time, everyone went crazy when they saw that they could earn contribution points. Yi Fan didn't fight them for monsters. The monster levels in the Evernight Forest were generally low. Zombies are level 5 3rd level monsters, and cat demons are level 7 monsters. The highest monster is only level 10. Naturally he has no interest. He led his troops towards the Death Basin. Death Basin, miasma spreads all year round, and if you just enter it, you will continue to lose blood. Of course, with the blessing of the Bright Jihad buff, Yi Fan is now immune to all negative effects. It's a good time to do a sweep. The wild monsters in Lord will not be refreshed indefinitely. Once they are cleared, they will really be gone. The only ones that can be refreshed infinitely are those secret realms that exist in special spaces. Wait, Night Stalker. At this time, someone suddenly called Yi Fan from behind. Yi Fan stopped, turned around, and looked at each other. It seems to be a big guild that has gathered a lot of players, probably hundreds of them, and hundreds of thousands of troops, and the members of this guild are all women. At the front of the team stood a slender girl wearing a mask, Purple Rose. Seeing this ID, Yi Fan was also slightly stunned. The Rose Guild is very famous in the Dragon Kingdom. The strength itself is among the top 3 in the Dragon Kingdom, and he is very active in various activities. Of course, more importantly, Rose Guild only accepts female players. As for Zi Qiangwei, as the president, she is also famous for being a beauty. Yi Fan's eyes flashed with memories. If I remember correctly, Zi Qiangwei is the top ranger of the Dragon Kingdom. In the future, he will be favored by the forest goddess. He will shine in the national war and defeat the Sakura Kingdom with millions of troops. Tens of millions of troops. If it was her previous life, she would naturally be superior to Mark, but now, she was as weak as an ant in front of Mark. Yi Fan stared at her pale pink mask with exquisite patterns and asked, "Is something wrong?" Masks are given to players by the system. Even gods cannot forcefully see through the things that come from the creator god. Zi Qiangwei took a breath, feeling a little uncomfortable under Mark's gaze. She had never seen this kind of look that looked down at everything, like looking at ants. Zi Qiangwei said quickly, "Hello, Night Demon, I am the president of the Rose Guild." Yi Fan frowned slightly, a little impatient, and continued to ask, "Is something wrong?" Zi Qiangwei was stunned, the guild members behind her were also stunned. Someone actually spoke to the president like that? You know, Zi Qiangwei is the most beautiful president of the Dragon Kingdom. Even the presidents of the other 3 major guilds in the Dragon Kingdom were polite to her. Yi Fan is so impatient. Zi Qiangwei took a deep breath and said, "Night Demon, our Rose Guild would like to invite you to join us, with an annual salary of tens of millions. Of course, if you are not satisfied, we can still negotiate." The members of the Rose Guild were all stunned. No way, right? The president actually invited a man to join the guild. You know, Zi Qiangwei once said that the Rose Guild does not welcome any male players. If there is a male player, it must be Qiangwei's male owner. Could it be? Is the president interested in Night Demon? The way they looked at Yi Fan instantly changed, but after hearing Zi Qiangwei's words, Mark was confused for a while. Annual salary of tens of millions? With so little money, where do you get the confidence? Just because you look good? Are you as good looking as my Vivian? Or is it better looking than my Aina? Just when Yi Fan was about to attack Zi Qiangwei, another voice came out. The Rose Guild is really funny. Night Demons can't be hired for 10 million. Chapter 35, Ranking List Released, Involuntarily Engaged Players. March 5, everyone was stunned and looked towards the voice. A woman with a very voluptuous figure came. She also wore a mask on her face, and followed a lot of goblin miners. They were obviously bought from Yi Fan. There were more than 500 of them. This rich woman also bought nearly 1/8 of the more than 4,000 goblin miners. Section 43. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Fan was slightly surprised when he saw her ID. That year's Little Snow was also very famous in Dragon Country. Unlike some big guilds, she always liked to fight alone. Of course, she did this because of her unique ability, money ability. Other people may play games to make money, but this rich woman seems to play games just to spend money. She even spent billions to buy a guild order. As a result, after the guild was created, it was disbanded again within a few days because she didn't know how to play. In Lord, this rich woman still implemented the practice of burning money. In Yi Fan's memory, in the future, as long as high-level soldiers appeared in the trading house, they would disappear instantly. Almost all of them were bought by her. At the same time, no one knew her true identity. At this time, Zi Qiangwei looked at her unkindly and angrily said, "Nan Nian Xiaoxue, what do you mean?" I just told the truth." Nan Nian Xiaoxue smiled, and seemed too lazy to look at Zi Qiangwei, but said to Yi Fan, "Yi-mo, I will pay 100 million, as long as you have the priority supply right in the future. How about it?" Hearing this, all the players were stunned. 100 million dragon coins, a sum of money that ordinary people can't earn in several lifetimes, but they only want a priority supply right. Is this a rich man? No, it's clearly a super rich man. Zi Qiangwei was also angry and stomped her feet in anger. Although she is the president of the 3 major guilds in Longhua, she doesn't have so much money to squander. At this time, she hurriedly said, "Yi-mo, I will give you the vice president, the one with real power." The players of Qiangwei were all shocked. As the vice president of the top 10 guilds in Longhua, Qiangwei is still the vice president with real power. She can be said to have reached the peak of her life. What's more, there is an annual salary of tens of millions. Yi Fan was naturally not tempted at all when he heard the conditions they proposed. 100 million dragon coins, in his eyes, were not worth much. Money was too easy for him to make, as easy as breathing, and the vice president, is he very powerful? He would not even be interested in the president. He shook his head. I will not join any guild for the time being, and my goods will only appear in the trading house, and precious items will be sold in the form of auctions. At present, the premise is that he lacks something. The trading house has a wide variety of sales forms. It is completely possible to barter. That year, Xiaoxue frowned slightly, but soon smiled and said, so, these 10 million gold coins are my gift. Let's add a friend, brother Yemo. If it is an auction, he is not short of money, and 10 million in exchange for a friend position of Yemo, she thinks it is worth it. Brother? Yifan's mouth twitched, but he still nodded and sent a friend request. He naturally didn't care about 10 million gold coins, but felt that Xiaoxue and Yen would have some value in the future. Ding dong, you get gold coins *1000 W. Ding dong, you have successfully added Xiaoxue and Yen as a friend. After adding friends, Xiaoxue and Yen left with satisfaction. Seeing this scene, the faces of the members of Rose became abnormal. The boss opened his mouth so wide that an egg could be stuffed in. Did you hear it right? 10 million, to buy a friend position. They just felt that the ideas of rich people were really incomprehensible. The three views were completely refreshed, and Zi Qiangwei's expression was not good either. She had never been rejected by a man like this, or in front of all the core members. Yifan was too lazy to pay attention to them and walked directly towards the direction of the death basin. Zi Qiangwei stomped her feet and hurriedly followed. Many sharp-eyed players have been staring at Yifan's movements. At this time, they naturally followed without stopping. They are smart and know who to follow to get meat. At this time, Yifan browsed the battle situation. A total of more than 100,000 players received the task, and the size of all the troops exceeded 100 million. The threshold for receiving the task is to have more than 1,000 troops. At this stage, those who can have this strength are all very strong players, of course. Most of them are rank 1 garbage troops. Yifan can kill them in minutes. By sending out 1,000 elves, at this time, Yifan issued an announcement in the Legion channel, everyone actively kills monsters. After the task is over, the first place will be rewarded with 10 million basic resources, the second place will be 9 million, the third place will be 8 million, and so on. At the same time, Yifan opened the kill ranking list. He himself did not participate in the ranking list. Yifan now has too many basic resources of all kinds, and the warehouse is about to burst, but for the players, it is a terrifying number. Hearing Yifan's words, the players doubted their ears. Did I hear it right? 10 million basic resources. Even Zi Qiangwei, who was following Yifan, was a little slow. Her beautiful eyes widened instantly. 10 million resources. Not to mention individual players. Even if a large guild gets this amount of resources, it will develop rapidly. Moreover, the 2nd to 10th place will also receive rewards. At this time, the ranking list was also released. First place, Night Pearl. Kills, 2560. 2nd place, Fighting Soul Sword. Kills, 1203. 3rd place, Wushuang Hei. Kill count, 1196. 4th place, Little Bubble Gum. Kill count, 1057. Section 44. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing the rankings, the players instantly became excited. Night Demon Boss Nyo Hide. 10 million resources. If anyone gets this, they will spiral directly into the sky. Kill. Don't try to steal my monster. The members of the Mars Guild have joined the group. Stop running around. Boss Night Demon, you are my father. It's over. The 10th place has more than 700 kills. It's too late. Damn it, Yi Mingzhu has already joined the war. Do you want to be like this? Night Pearl. At this time, Yifan was slightly surprised when he looked at the names on the ranking list. Night Pearl is a well-known high-level player in the Dragon Kingdom, and its strength should not be underestimated. In recent years, he has been active in major online games. He has always appeared as an individual and refused all invitations from the guild, and her identity has always been a mystery. In the national war not long after, he stabbed a certain big guild in the Dragon Kingdom severely in the back. Of course, this is a personal vendetta. This was also her battle to become famous, and later, she became one of the top 10 lords of the Dragon Kingdom. However, now she is just a confused and helpless girl. Thinking of this, Yifan decided to meet her. If possible, she might be able to be made a vassal lord. There are many chores, and as the territory develops, there will be more and more. It is impossible for Yifan to do everything himself. This will require some wage earners. In Lord, players can become other people's vassal lords. Being a vassal lord means that all your troops and resources are controlled by the other party, no different than a slave. Therefore, generally few people become other people's vassal lords. At this time, the sound of the system suddenly sounded in Yifan's ears. Ding dong, you have discovered the map, Death Basin. As the first player in the world to discover this area, here is the reward, reputation value +1. Ding dong, you triggered the 10,000-fold amplification system, and your reputation value +1 W, Chapter 36, the terrifying AoE ability. 4 out of 5. To enter the Death Basin, you must traverse the entire Evernight Forest. Players obviously can't do it. At this time, Yifan looked at the scene in front of him. In Death Basin, everything is dark, the ground turned into pitch-black scorched earth, and a pungent fishy smell could be smelled in the nose. Even the trees are bare. It was chirping with the wind, which was very strange. The lowest level monster in the Death Basin is the 3rd level skeleton warrior. The level is at level 10. And the skill has immortality properties. Not only can it reduce 20% of physical damage, but it can also restore blood every second in the scorched earth. Players rarely have 3rd level troops at this stage, and they simply cannot defeat them. There are many other monsters, including 4th level skeleton mage, 5th level skeleton knight, and even 6th level skeleton general. It can be said that it will be at least a few weeks before players want to open up Wasteland here. Of course, these undead armies have nothing to do with the Toxic Church, but they have several large strongholds deep in Death Basin. The monsters here are naturally included in the mission content. Killing also has contribution points, and because of the higher level, the contribution points obtained are more. At this time, players also saw the attributes of these skeletons. Holy shit, a level 10 3rd level monster. I only have level 2 1st level troops. How can I fight this? Hiss, physical damage is reduced by 20%, and it can restore blood. Was this hit by a human? Boss, I suggest you retreat temporarily and wait until we are strong enough to open up Wasteland again. Retreat? Looking at the news from the players, Yifan only felt funny for a while. These skeletons are nothing like cannon fodder in front of him. Garbage within garbage. At this time, the skeletons also discovered the players' troops and rushed toward them desperately. For a moment, the entire field of vision was filled with running figures of skeletons, densely packed. At least a few million came. The players' scalps all felt numb and their spines felt chilly. I'll wipe it. Run quickly. Otherwise it's too late. I said, there are too many skeletons. How can we fight them? If you can't beat me, run away. Many players have already fled in panic. In Lord, there is also a penalty for player death. Each time a player dies, his level will drop by 1 level. At the same time, the morale of the troops will be cleared, and then they will automatically be defeated and retreat to the territory. If you are hunted at this time, the losses will definitely be heavy. Naturally, they have never seen such a terrifying battlefield, but for Yifan, it was already commonplace. In the future, the size of the demon army will be 10,000 times more terrifying than this, right now. Whoosh whoosh dash. Countless arrows burning with flames shot out of the sky. The skeleton warrior's health bar was instantly cleared. At the same time, when their bodies fell, scorching flames instantly spread to the surroundings. The sound of flames burning bones was particularly eerie, but in just a moment, the skeletons will be burned to ashes. At the same time, after the elves' arrows hit the enemy, a shining lightning chain will be ejected, the effect of justice when attacking an enemy. Lightning can bounce to 10 enemies, coupled with Yifan's skill, Fire Master. It can also cause additional explosion effects. That is to say, the flame sniper can kill up to 30 units with 1 arrow. This AoE ability is so terrifying that even Yifan can't help but be amazed. As the skeleton fell to the ground, the system's voice rang in Yifan's ears. Ding dong, your troops killed, skeleton warriors, level 3, *1000, gained 300 experience points, 10 contribution points, and successfully triggered the 10,000-fold amplification system. Your troops gained 3 million experience points and 100,000 contribution points. You get 30,000 experience points. Ding dong, the level of one of your flame sniper has been upgraded, and the current level is 23. Ding dong, the level of one of your flame sniper has been upgraded, and the current level is 24. Section 45. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding dong, one of your fire marksman levels has been upgraded. It is currently level 80, which is the full level. Under Yifan's instruction, Aina put all the sharpshooters on the battlefield. Skeletons fell in pieces like harvested straw. The players were also stunned by this scene. I'll wipe it, right? You're so cool. These elves are so strong. With one arrow, countless skeletons fell down. AoE troops. I love them. When can I get them? Stop dreaming upstairs. No wonder Night Demon would use the 4th level troops. It turns out there are such powerful AoE troops. My turtle, aren't these elves too fierce? Half an hour later, the last skeleton fell to the ground. Ding dong, your level prompt is currently level 20. Please complete Professional Trial 1 to unlock the level cap. Ding dong, your hero, Moon Dancer Aina, has reached the level limit. Please break through the limits to unlock the level limit. A huge amount of experience points were recorded, and the levels of all the flame marksmen were directly maxed out, reaching level 80. Yifan's level has reached a bottleneck again and he needs to complete the professional trial. Players have professional trials every 10 levels, which is also different from heroes. Generally speaking, it is much more difficult for players to level up than for heroes, but Yifan is an exception. With a 10,000-fold increase, his experience points can reach full value in an instant. Ina's level soon reached level 40, and she needed a second breakthrough to unlock the level cap. For the second break, you not only need hero breaking stone, but also some special materials. Ina, you need 100 hero breaking stones, and 1 moonstone. Yifan recalled and murmured, if I remember correctly, the moonstone is only owned by the Temple of the Moon Goddess, and it is for internal use. And is not spread to the outside world at all. He sighed. As an SSS-level hero, it would be very difficult for him to break through the boundaries every time. I'm afraid the materials Vivian needs will be equally difficult to obtain. Closing the panel for the time being, Yifan checked his professional trials. Professional Trial 1, Description. Forbidden Mage, an ancient and dangerous profession. You need to prove your return to the world. Mission content. Kill epic boss and above, 0/10. Mission reward, unlock level cap, ancient ruins teleportation. Scroll.y Yifan's eyelids jumped when he saw the content of the mission. Just for the first professional trial, I actually needed to kill 10 epic bosses, worse than the second level Lord mission. But what is the ancient ruins teleportation scroll in the mission reward? Generally, when it comes to ancient civilizations, you will encounter extremely dangerous things. Yifan decided to complete the task as soon as possible. In addition to experience points, Yifan also gained a huge amount of contribution points. Monsters in the Death Basin can only gain 10 contribution points by killing 100 on average. In this wave alone, Yifan earned 3 billion contribution points. It has to be said that war is always the best way to make a fortune. Jihad is no exception. While expelling evil, it means that light will grow stronger. At this time, Ina walked up to Yifan and said, Lord, we found 3 resource points. Yifan shook his head, don't worry about it, it's too far and there's no time to mine. If the resource point is too far away from the territory, the gain will outweigh the loss. Vivian also emerged from the fog. She had been sent by Yifan to explore the way ahead. She pointed in a direction and said, Lord, we found a stronghold ahead and there are many people there. Yifan nodded and waved his hand, okay, let's start the army. Chapter 37. The major guilds are coming. May 5th. Yifan continued to move forward with his troops. This time, Yifan directly asked the Sky Knights to clear the way, and the purpose was naturally to level up, and Vivian is a Shadow Knight herself. Under her command, the Sky Knights shuttle freely throughout the Death Basin. The spear in the Sky Knight's hand easily penetrated one skeleton after another. The players were stunned again. Oh no, flying troops. It's flying, holy shit. This attack is a direct kill again. What kind of soldier is this? Not only are the attributes terrifying, but they can also fly. We are also playing a game, so why do I only have rubbish troops? That the players are naturally envious and jealous, but by following Yifan, they can pick up a lot of things. Just from the corpse, you can touch a lot of equipment. Yifan was naturally too lazy to touch the body of such a garbage monster, it would only waste his time. The players are very happy, followed behind Yifan in a hurry. After the system's protection time has passed, you can touch the body, at least you can get some gold, coins, and even get equipment. Simply delicious. At this time, in the Rose Guild, several members cautiously said to Ziqiangwei, "President, we should go to the Evernight Forest. All the monsters here have been killed by the Night Demon, and we can't even touch any monsters. Even if there are some who are alone, we can't defeat them." In the opinion of the members, it is better to go back to the Evernight Forest to kill some monsters, earning some contribution points. Isn't it nice? Listening to their voices, Purple Rose's face became uglier. Under the mask, her delicate face was already full of anger. "Don't say anything." Purple Rose snorted and said, "Don't worry, we won't waste time." Her starry eyes flashed with brilliance, and she analyzed, the Death Basin is so big, there must be a boss. Although the Night Demon is powerful, it may not be able to crush the boss. When the time comes, he will ask us for help. When the time comes, he can only join us, Rose. After hearing her words, the members' eyes also lit up. Yes, then the boss will also be ours. Big Sister is awesome. Section 46. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The eldest sister is the smartest. Ziqiangwei hummed proudly, and the corners of her thin mouth raised slightly. She became more and more convinced that her guess was correct. There must be something that Yifan can't deal with here, either the boss or some special mechanism. Otherwise, Yifan would not have issued the task and allocated so many resources. At this time, the troops traveled unimpeded and soon arrived in front of the stronghold mentioned by Vivian. This is an altar-like building, but it is different from the underground style. There is naturally no height limit for buildings on the ground. The altar in front of him is open air, surrounded by countless dark stone pillars. It reaches straight into the sky and is hundreds of meters high. The space in the center of the altar is very vast. At this moment, countless figures in dark green robes rushed out from the altar, followers of the toxic church. It is also the 5th level, with a level of 15, which is the same as the level encountered underground. Yifan didn't say much nonsense and directly ordered the two heroes to start attacking. Boo-hoo-hoo. Countless arrows shot out of the sky. At the same time, the figure of the Sky Knight also turned into a blue streamline and rushed into the altar in an instant. Various kill prompts sounded instantly. Another large amount of experience points were recorded. Yifan did not check carefully and led his troops directly into the altar. The size of the altar was much larger, and the number of believers doubled. At least millions of believers gathered. The worst troops are also at the 5th level, and there are also quite a few at the 7th and 8th levels, around 50,000. No matter how many players there are at this stage, they will never be able to defeat such an army. And in the altar, a tall figure was holding a staff angrily. Yifan threw a detective skill over. Venomancer Walter, legendary. Description: the middle-level management of the Toxic Order, whose strength skyrocketed after drinking the poisonous potion. Level, legend, 1st level, level, 20. HP, 100 million/100 million. Physical/magic attack, 2.4 W. Defense, 6500. Skills, poisonous hands, highest level poison resistance, highest level toxin infection, death poison mist, poisonous skin. Players also posted the boss's attributes on the public screen. What the hell, legendary boss? My turtle has 100 million HP. My unit's attack is 20 points. How long does it take to fight? I vomited. Was this guy beaten? Boss, retreat quickly, the situation is not right. Big Night Demon once killed the legendary boss, but I think, this boss is too strong, so we should retreat first. The Rose Guild was also shocked. This was the first time they saw the legendary boss's HP, and they were immediately frightened, but after seeing the attributes of boss, Yifan was disappointed. The attributes are exactly the same as those of the boss encountered underground. The more garbage there is, the more garbage there will be. At that time, he only had 2000 flame marksmen. who could kill him instantly. Now, it's even more of a matter of moving your fingers, and just when he ordered to kill the boss, there was a sudden commotion among the players. Fuck, who squeezed me? Holy crap, where did so many people come from? Hey, isn't this from the Proud World Guild? There are also Black Hand, Sword Chi, there are many big guilds. I've discovered it a long time ago. They are following us from a distance. What are they going to do? Isn't it to snatch the boss? Robbing the boss? This boss can't be beaten at first glance. I think, they are here to block the Night Demon's escape. Yi Fan was stunned for a moment, turned around with interest, and looked at the major guilds that were slowly gathering. He had already discovered that there was a group of players following him. But I didn't take it to heart at all. Apart from anything else, even if there are players all over the world combined, they are not enough to fight Yi Fan. At this time, he became interested and wanted to see what these people were going to do. Yi Fan waved his hand gently, signaling Vivian and Ina not to kill the boss yet. Fortunately, Yi Fan was far enough away that he didn't attract the boss's hatred. After a few minutes, the formations of the major guilds were finally set. In the front row are the second-level soldiers, human soldiers with shields. You can also see some goblin absentees sporadically. Of course they were bought from Yi Fan. Behind them are second-level archers and some third-level archers. Tier 3 troops are a rare commodity at this stage, and only large guilds can buy them. The size of the army is not small. Yi Fan glanced around and saw that there were tens of millions. At this time, a man walked out of the crowd with an ID on his head. Aosher Wushuang. Aosher Wushuang's face was full of arrogance, and he said to Yi Fan scornfully, "Night Demon, we are here to hold you back. You can fight the boss with confidence and leave the rest to us. Don't worry, we will definitely clean up the monsters behind you. We will never sneak attack you, really. P.S. The data hasn't changed much today, but I will work hard. There will be 2 more updates later, so go ahead." Chapter 38, There is no strategy in the face of absolute strength. 4,000 flowers for extra chapter. Aosher Wushuang's words soon reached everyone's ears. The players were all stunned. It was not what they imagined, but soon, they found the problem. Section 47. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The major guilds are coming with great momentum, gathering tens of millions of troops, just to support Yi Fan. Nonsense. Soon, someone reacted. What a sinister plot. They want to let the Night Demon and the boss fight each other, and then wait for an opportunity to act. If the boss wins, there is no need to take action. The myth of the Night Demon will be broken. If the Night Demon wins, it will definitely be seriously injured. At that time, all of them will take action and kill the Night Demon in one fell swoop. Hiss, this is an open conspiracy. If the Night Demon takes action first, it will be judged by the system and then red-named. Listening to the analysis in the chat channel, the players all understood the intentions of the major guilds. Damn, so sinister. It's really worthy of being a major guild. These people have figured out the conspiracy. In my opinion, the Night Demon boss will be defeated here. Can anyone tell me, if the Night Demon boss falls, will our mission still be rewarded? In the camps of the major guilds, Aosher Wushuang smiled smugly. This is exactly the method that the major guilds came up with. It can be said to be foolproof. With the help of fishing reels and bosses, Yi Fan was directly attacked from all sides and was in a dilemma. No matter what, the Night Demon must be killed here today. Rose Guild. President, what should we do? Should we help the Night Demon? Or, cooperate with Aosher? They sent a message, and there are millions of troops, and they will be here soon. The players of Rose quickly polarized. Some people didn't like Aosher's approach, some people also suggested backstabbing Yi Fan. In any case, everyone's eyes were focused on Purple Rose. Purple Rose's face under the mask showed no hesitation. She always believed in her intuition. She said solemnly, "Everyone in Rose, prepare to go to war with Aosher." Rose players immediately responded. "Okay, big sister. At worst, I'll die and go back. What's there to be afraid of? Listen to big sister, fuck Aosher. I've been annoyed with them for a long time. Sisters, pay attention to your image. Yi Fan had a full view of the movements of all forces. He was also a little strange. Are these people mentally ill? Where do they get the confidence to deal with themselves? Just these tens of millions of garbage troops. Yi Fan raised a sneer at the corner of his mouth. Strategy. You also need strength, otherwise, all strategies are just a joke, he directly ordered. Ina, do it. Vivian, these lords are left to you. Yes. The two heroines started to act at the same time. Ina led all the elf archers and continued to advance towards the boss, and Vivian gently raised her slender arm. Suddenly, the grey mist appeared quietly, all the sky knights disappeared quietly in the mist. Less than a minute later, Ina advanced to the front of the boss. The players' hearts were in their throats. At night demon, boss, don't open the boss, otherwise you will fall into the trap. At night demon, boss, let's retreat. TSK, is Night Demon so brainless? Can't he see that the big guild is waiting for him to open the boss? Alas, it seems that Night Demon will really be short-lived and fall. Yi Fan naturally ignored the players. Under the gaze of countless players, Ina and the elves entered the hatred range of the boss. The players wailed immediately. It's over. It's all over. At night devil, why don't you listen to my advice? A trace of ecstasy flashed in Ao Shi Wushuang's eyes. Everything is under his control. It seems that the legend of Night Devil is about to end. At this moment. Battle notice. The God-granted Viscount, Night Devil, kills the enemy bravely and successfully kills. Venom Warlock. What? Legendary. All units of the Legion obtain the wartime buff, bravest 3 armies, and the morale of the troops is plus 100. Everyone present was stunned. What happened? The boss died just like that. Fuck, what's going on? Doesn't the boss have 100 million HP? I didn't see it clearly. Who recorded it? How did the boss die? Is it a bug? It seems, killed by Night Devil in seconds. Ghost, 100 million HP is gone in less than a second. What kind of damage is this? The players were all shocked. Section 48. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the Rose Guild, Zi Qiangwei looked at the fallen boss in astonishment. She had not lowered her arms high. She was about to give an order to the people of the Rose Guild to change their formation and help Yi Fan fight the boss. Yi Fan is a bit too strong, right? In the formations of countless large guilds, the smile on Ao Shi Wushuang's face suddenly froze. Everyone else also widened their eyes. Legendary boss, killed in seconds. One of the subordinates swallowed his saliva and asked, Boss, what should we do? Ao Shi Wushuang calmed himself and said, does the Night Demon dare to attack us? After saying that, he regained his pride in his heart. He is the president of the 3 major guilds in Dragon Country. Yi Fan dares to go to war with him. You know, if you actively attack other lords in, Lord, you will enter the red name state. If you die in the red name state, your level will drop by 3 levels directly. The killer will also receive 50% of the resources in the other party's territory. It can be said that the punishment is extremely severe. Ao Shi Wushuang has expected it. Yi Fan, absolutely dare not attack him. And at this moment, a dazzling blue light suddenly appeared in everyone's sight. It was like an exploding sun, which made everyone's eyes sting. The sound of countless engines roaring appeared in the sky. The next moment, a terrifying cylindrical energy wave passed through the fog and suddenly exploded in their territory. In an instant, the earth trembled violently. Vivian's slender figure gradually emerged from the fog. In this wave, she directly ordered all the Sky Knights to use Sky's Wrath. She glanced at the troops of the major guilds indifferently, as if she was looking at a pile of dead people. At this time, various sounds of the system also sounded in Yi Fan's ears. Ding dong, you killed the troops of player, Ao Shi Xiaojian, and got 1,000 points of killing value. You triggered the 10,000 times increase and got 1,000 W points of killing value. Ding dong, you killed the troops of player, Ao Shi Dabao, and got 1,000 points of killing value. You triggered the 10,000 times increase and got 1,000 W points of killing value. Ding dong, you killed the player, Ao Shi Xiao Tian Tian. Ding dong, you killed the player, Black Light Magic. Ding dong. Ding dong, you have entered the Vendetta state. The duration, 24 hours. In this state, Your death penalty will be very strict. Ding dong, you have entered the vendetta state, the duration, 48 hours. Ding dong, you have entered the vendetta state, the duration, 72 hours. Ding dong, your vendetta state time has reached the upper limit, chapter 39, no defense break. No blood loss. 6,000 flowers plus, the red name state can only last for 3 days at most. Yifan directly stacked it up. Of course, he didn't care whether he was red or not. If someone wanted to kill him, then let's try. What Yifan cared about was that in this wave, 8,000 Sky Knights directly killed 1.6 million troops, directly obtained 16 billion killing points. Yifan didn't expect that the troops that killed the players also had killing points. In this case, the way to repair the killing heart has been found. Muttering, Yifan ordered Vivian, Ina, start the hunt, and leave no one behind. The two female heroes nodded immediately, yes. The Sky Knights tightly grasped the spears in their hands and immediately charged towards the players' troops. Like a tiger entering a flock of sheep, they kept shuttling between the formations of major guilds. After being applied with skills by Yifan, the Sky Knights, who originally lacked AoE damage, instantly had powerful AoE capabilities. At the same time, countless flaming archers arrived at the battlefield at an incredible speed. Swish, 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 arrows poured down from the sky. The troops of the guild players fell in groups. Without even time to react, Ao Shi Wushuang's face turned green. In less than a minute, he lost nearly 1/5 of his troops. He really didn't expect Yifan to be so arrogant. How dare he start a war against so many people? Isn't he afraid of revenge from the major guilds? There was no time to think about it. He quickly commanded the troops. Kill, kill, kill. Shoot. All long-range troops, focus on one first. The players of the guild quickly reacted and began to mobilize their long-range troops, especially a man named Ao Shi Wudi. This is the #1 master of the Ao Shi guild. He has 3,000 third-level soldiers, jackal shooters, a full 3,000 third-level soldiers. At this time, it is definitely an extremely powerful existence. A fierce light flashed in Ao Shi Wudi's eyes. Shoot. Swish, swish, swish. Countless arrows broke through the air and formed a large net in the air. Hit. Countless arrows hit a Sky Knight. Ao Shi Wudi's eyes lit up with joy. The concentrated fire of 3,000 third-level soldiers, even the 5th-level soldiers would be killed instantly. But, ding. 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 Chapter 49. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The crisp sound of metal collision sounded, but in Invincible's ears, it was particularly harsh. How is that possible? Third-level troops, don't break defense. What kind of military branch is this? The Sky Knight just glanced at the gnolls lightly. He continued to shuttle among their formations. One beautiful blue streamline after another drew in the air. The cavalry must exert its maximum charging ability, and this time, the major guilds have fallen into deep despair. Don't break the defense. No blood loss. Can't win. Players from the major guilds were immediately in despair. Ah! What a monster. Run. I just upgraded to level 2 and I don't want to drop down anymore. Help. The Night Demon is so powerful that he is not human at all. A moment, some players began to flee and became out of control. Countless players ran back desperately. Lord, the price of dying once is too heavy. They did everything to save their lives. The battle can only be a one-sided massacre. Less than half an hour, no one can be seen in the formations of several major guilds. Run or die. At this time, Yifan's eyes were gleaming. The repair progress of the Heart of Killing has exceeded 1/10. This stage of the restoration of Killing Heart requires killing 100 million units. It's hard to find so many wild monsters, but the players' troops are so easy to find. Closing the panel, Yifan looked at Ao Shi Wushuang, who was standing not far away from Guang Ling. There is not a single unit left around him. There is only one bear commander left. Naturally, Yifan ordered not to kill him for the time being, and the two heroines deliberately let him go. At this time, facing Yifan's teasing gaze, Ao Shi Wushuang's entire face turned red. Night Demon. Having offended so many guilds, do you know the consequences? Lords are weak after all. When we grow up, you will definitely not be our opponent. Kowtow to me quickly and apologize, otherwise. Yi Fan flicked his ears indifferently. This person, is there something wrong with your brain? Then, he waved his staff gently, dark green energy suddenly burst out. Yi Fan just hit a normal attack lightly, but Ao Shi Wuxuang's health bar disappeared instantly and became completely empty. Ding dong, you killed the player, Ao Shi Wuxuang. Ding dong, because you killed too many players, you were awarded the title, Murderous Exposed, Black Iron Level. Ding dong, you triggered a 10,000-fold increase and obtained the title, Killing God Alive, Epic Level. The God of Death is alive, Epic Level, Grade, Hidden and Unique, Effect, plus 100% damage to all player units. At this time, Yi Fan also saw the title of the attribute. I have to say, it is still very powerful, directly doubles the damage value to players. It is completely a PK artifact. However, it will not be of much use to Yi Fan. His attacks have already overflowed, and they all kill instantly with one hit anyway. The battle ended a little too quickly. The players haven't reacted yet. They suddenly discovered it after Ao Shi Wuxuang died. Players from all major guilds are already dead. Their troops surrendered and fled for their lives. At this moment, the system sound suddenly popped up. Ding dong, announcement from the Legion. The requirements for receiving the mission, cleaning up the toxic church, have been changed. Everyone was stunned for a moment, and then quickly opened the task panel. Requirements for collection. Point 1. Good camp, at least first-level city lord, with more than 1,000 troops. 2. Ao Shi Wuxuang and dogs are not allowed to receive it. Ha ha ha, the night demon boss is taking the bamboo shoots. TSK, this offends Ao Shi Wuxuang to death. The night demon boss is so domineering. Nyobi, I've been really unhappy with Ao Shi Wuxuang for a long time, but I don't have the strength. I support the night demon boss this time. +1. Section 50. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Plus 10,086. Lord, they dropped a lot of equipment. At this time, Vivian returned to Mark. The deserters have almost been hunted down. Hearing this, Yi Fan looked forward. On the ground, various equipment fell. All the major guilds are at the forefront of players. Although the equipment is of very low grade and most of it is ordinary equipment, it has been less than a day since the server was launched and it is already considered very strong. The other players are all bastards, but no one dared to pick it up and could only look at Yi Fan. Helplessly, Yi Fan naturally doesn't want these junk equipment. He shook his head. It's all rubbish, forget it. Clean up the remaining believers as quickly as possible. Vivian nodded, turned around and led the knights to continue cleaning up the believers in the temple. At this time, Yi Fan looked at the location of Rose Guild. Chapter 40, The Outraged Beautiful President. 1/5. To be honest, Yi Fan was quite surprised by what he did to Zi Qiangwei. He didn't expect that this somewhat unruly and beautiful president would choose to help him, even becoming the enemy of Aoshi. Although Ao Shi Wuxuang is quite stupid, his father is still quite powerful. In reality, the group has reached the point where it is too big to fail. Offending such a force would create a powerful enemy for the Rose Guild. Yi Fan casually sent a friend request. He wouldn't mind some cooperation with Qiangwei. Anyway, he also wants to cultivate his own power. The world of Lord is very big, and it is impossible for Yi Fan to do everything by himself. When the world merges in a few years, Yi Fan will have more things to take care of. His plan is to create his own power, including NPCs, players, vassal lords, and slaves. Qiangwei is undoubtedly a good wage earner. Some dirty and tiring work can be done by them. Ding dong, you have successfully added Purple Rose as a friend. Soon, Purple Rose made a friend request. The system sound fell, and Yi Fan sent her a few messages. You will be grateful for your decision today, Lin Ruoxue. Yu Qiangwei can take away the equipment they dropped. Zi Qiangwei's body trembled suddenly, as if struck by lightning. Meow meow meow. What's going on? How does he know my name? She has never revealed her true information in the game. Even the vice presidents only know her as a homebuddy. She immediately sent a series of messages to Mark. Who are you anyway? How do you know my name? Have we known each other before? Speak, Listen to the various messages popping up in the chat box. Yi Fan took out his ears. He suddenly regretted his actions. Well, Blue Star women are trouble. It's better to be your own heroine. Both Vivian and Ina are so obedient and pleasant, not annoying yet. She will blush even if she touches her little hands, shy and cute. Thinking of this, he directly blocked Zi Qiangwei's messages. My ears were instantly clear. Well, let's untie it after a while. Ding dong, the message failed to be sent. You have been blocked by the other party. Zi Qiangwei was stunned. She blinked in disbelief. The messages she sent out were preceded by a red exclamation mark. Yi Fan, how dare you block her? As the most beautiful guild president in China, her friend's status is not as exaggerated as 10 million dragon coins, but definitely not everyone can add it. Yi Fan actually blocked her. Zi Qiangwei gritted her teeth and looked at Mark. I saw Yi Fan walking directly into the altar as if nothing was wrong. Zi Qiangwei felt like she was going to be pissed off. Night Demon. Are you sick? Add me as a friend and then block me? After gnashing her teeth and swearing a few times, Zi Qiangwei stamped her feet fiercely. She took a deep breath and suppressed the anger in her heart. Try not to let your blood pressure rise too high. Otherwise, the blood vessels will burst, she said to the members behind her. Everyone, pick up the equipment. As per the old rules, everything should be handed over to the guild and then distributed uniformly. But at this time, Yi Fan had reached the depths of the altar. The surrounding troops were still cleaning up the fleeing believers. If they get together, Mark can destroy them in 1 minute, but if you start running for your life and start chasing, it will be a huge waste of time.